Glad to be back in our beautiful downtown studio for another year of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. Exciting season coming up. I have a very special guest with me today. Not only is he the face of the Rio Grande Ravens basketball team, but he's also at the very top of his class. We're going to talk about that and more with Ravens Jonah Lopez. Jonah, welcome to the program, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you, and I want to start there because I think we always talk about athletics, but man, like you're right there at the very almost.
Yes, sir.
Right? You and your best friend? Tell me about that.
Well, I've always been super competitive, and me and my friend, we've, grades and school, it's just kind of been like, it's come really easy to us. So we've just been pushing ourselves, pushing each other. And actually, he has 3 older siblings who have all been valedictorian. So he has all that pressure on him, right, to be valedictorian. And I'm just pushing him, and we just keep going back and forth like that.
So you guys are right 1-2, right?
Yes,
what's
sir.
that? What do those GPAs look like?
About 4.4 and a 4.35 right now.
So you guys are, that's a great accomplishment. And first of all, talk about that. Like, how do you accomplish that? Not only with forget the athletics piece, right? I mean, that's hard enough to balance with athletics, but just how do you accomplish that? Because there's a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
Social media, girls, whatever. Mm-hmm. How do you stay that focused, top of your class?
I really owe a lot of it to my parents. They've really kept me on the right track and kept me focused through academics and athletics. And I think, just dedication and putting all my focus into my schools first because, if I don't make grades, I can't play. And there's a certain expectation for me that my parents have and that I have for myself. And if I don't meet those, I can't play. So.
Right. Now, did you have, growing up when it came to grades, did you have, was there a good cop, bad cop? I know that's what my parents did, except the good cop was like, all right, if you don't get a good grade, you're grounded for a month. And the bad cop was 3 months. Do you have a good cop and a bad cop, or bad cop, bad cop? What's the scenario like there?
Not really. I mean, they're both, well, how do I say this? They both want the best for me, right? And
so they're consistent.
Yeah, they're kind of both the same, yeah.
All right. So then you bring in the athletics piece, right? Because that takes a huge commitment and time. Has that been a challenge to keep your grades up with athletics?
Yeah, I mean, trying to balance the 2 aspects of life are very difficult, but, I've been able to do it. And like I said, I owe a lot of that to my parents, my teachers, and my coaches. They've always been very supportive in both aspects of life like that.
The bell rings. It's 2:30, right? The bell rings. From 2:30 to end of day, how many hours athletics, how many hours academics? What does your post-school day usually look like?
Well, since we don't have a gym, usually I get to go home and do all my homework, knock it out right away, and then we end up going to usually Harrison Middle School to practice. Usually practice is about 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, and then after practice, if I have any extra homework or anything else I need to get done ahead of time, I can do that then. So.
No, but your gym's going to be ready, right, for basketball season?
Next year.
Have you gotten a sneak peek yet? Have you been inside or what?
I've seen
Did you guys
pictures.
get to look at pictures? Okay,
yeah, I've seen pictures.
What do we have to look forward to at the Ravens Nest there?
Well, I'm super excited actually, and the gym, state of the art, looks really, really nice, and that's basically all I can say right now.
All right, because it gets when there's a crowd in there, it does get pretty rowdy. It's a good environment for basketball, right? But it's old. It's been there.
Yes.
Right? So
yeah, and I was sad to see the old gym go because there was so much history that had gone into that gym. But, it is how it is, and I'm super excited for the next chapter with that gym.
Is there going to be a giant Raven somewhere, whether it's on the wall or whether it's on the court? Is there going to be?
So there's actually already one up on the backside. Okay. It's a huge brand new Raven logo, so it's pretty nice.
So when do you guys get to go in there for practice?
So from Coach Mario, I've heard about the end of July, hopefully, as of right now. So we'll see. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what has come more difficult for you at times, athletics or academics?
I would say probably academics because I've been taking a lot of more challenging courses, so AP, honors, things like that, and just the rigor that those classes have is super difficult. So.
Right. And so now you have one more year, right? So you can still possibly pass your friend. Right?
Yeah, there's always a possibility, yeah.
Right?
We'll see.
So, but they've had 3 siblings as valedictorians, so they must almost think it's their birthright.
Yeah,
right?
Well, I'm not going to make it easy for them.
Okay,
so.
that's encouraging. That's the competitor I know, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about this upcoming season. I mean, you had a lot of returning pieces, right? So
Yes.
talk about that.
Well, I think, last year, obviously, we didn't get the result that we wanted, but a lot of players got experience that they may have not gotten in other years. So I'm really confident and excited in the group that we have coming back, and I think we're going to do pretty well next year.
Now, you got some big guys coming back. You got some guards coming back. So it's at every position, right? Talk about your guys.
Yeah, well, our big guy, Santiago, he's going to be a junior, and he has grown a lot since last season. He's been in the weight room working hard, and you can just tell like his body transformation and his game IQ has gone up a lot. So I'm really excited to see what me and him can do next year. And then guards, we have Jonathan coming back. He's been playing with the ABC over summer, so he's getting a lot of gym time and playing a lot. So I think me and him can work together as well. We'll see what we can do. And then our star freshman, Cheo, he's also coming back, and he's been working out, like I said, summer workouts with lots of different coaches, and he's another strong piece to our program.
So you would say you're looking forward to a good senior year?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We'll take our first break with Jonah, and then when I get back, I want to ask about, it's got to be difficult, I would imagine, being that committed at a program that hasn't gotten a lot of wins in the last couple of years while you've been there, right? That has had to have had challenges?
Yes, sir, of course.
Jonah and I will pick up on that when we get back.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at CarCrafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
CarCrafters, it's like it never happened.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
The energy landscape is limitless and ever-changing. Cleaner energy resources are crucial to New Mexico's environment. For 100 years, PNM has utilized cutting-edge technology and employed hard-working New Mexicans to ensure that we have consistent, reliable energy when we need it. For life's loudest moments, quietest moments, and every moment in between. We're dedicated to providing you with energy now and into the future. All you have to do is dream of what to do with it next.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop. Fish, birds, cats, dogs, reptiles, and small animals. Clark's has built a tradition of friendly, knowledgeable service focused on affordable, quality pet care products and food. Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations for all your pet needs, including an extensive selection of gifts for both owners and pets. 11200 Manal Northeast or 4914 Lomas Northeast. Clark's Pet Emporium is celebrating 50 years. Thank you, Albuquerque, the pet supply superstore. ClarksPets.com.
All right, we're with Jonah Lopez of the Rio Grande Ravens. We were talking about this upcoming season and obviously the future. You're looking at it from a optimistic standpoint. Hey, we might have some pieces. We might have a year. But, the elephant in the room is you guys haven't done a lot of winning, right?
Yes.
That's got to be incredibly challenging.
Yeah, I mean, the last few years haven't been the best years, and you mentioned it in the past. My fellow friends, classmates, or even players that used to play on the team will, shoot a shot at me every now and then. Oh, you guys, why aren't you guys winning, or this or that? And, I just say, if you're such a big critic, why don't you come help us out and play with us, right? And, we're doing everything we can. We're trying to get in the gym, work as hard as we can just to change the culture at Rio Grande, I guess you could say.
Well, first of all, you're at the top of your class and you're the face of your basketball program. So if someone's taking a shot at you, I don't know what that's all about. They need to do some self-examining. But it's got to be tough, man, because you got to hear it in the hallway, right? Like, oh, man, we're not going to those games. Well, who wants to go to those games? They're not going to win, right? Oh, they're going to get pumped by 40 tonight, right? You hear all those things, right?
You do.
How do you stay motivated? How do you stay on track?
I think it's just, trusting the process. That's really one thing that we've been doing, at least I have been doing the past 4 years, right? Is, I really feel like this year we have a good shot at least putting together a winning season. And I think, eventually the past few years, obviously, getting blown out by 30 or 40, but we've gotten a lot of experience, and we've played some of the best teams in the state, so we know what it takes to get to the state tournament, right?
What about, then there's the other side of it. Man, you got your friends, teammates that have slowly but surely quit, right? Nah, man, this isn't for me, man. I'm tired of getting blown out every night. I don't want to do this. So to see teammates and friends quit while you're maintaining the path, first of all, that's happened a bunch, right?
Yeah.
What do you say to them? And what's going through your mind when you got your buddies coming up to you saying, hey, man, I'm done with this?
Yeah, well, maybe it's not even kids that have quit. It's just some of I know I've definitely had this experience where I'm like, what am I doing? What are we doing here? And it's like some of my teammates have also shown the same attitude where they show a little bit of selfishness and things like that. And it's just like we're all in this together. And one thing that Coach Mario always says is it's just us. It's just the South Valley together, and we got to stay together. And we keep going through this process, and we're gonna eventually put together a winning season and a winning program.
Right. What do you say to some of your teammates that have chosen to not play basketball anymore, or that maybe they missed some practice because it's not important to them, right? Because the results are not coming. They're putting in the work, but the results aren't coming. So what do you say to those guys that have quit or that are just not on the right path?
Yeah, I just try to say, it's their decision. They can do what they want to do, but I just try to support them. Always have welcoming hands and want them to come back, right? Because at Rio we're kind of open to anyone, and we don't cut kids, right? So, I just kind of say, you're always welcome back if you want to come back and play with us.
So, in a program like that where you're kind of, having some struggles, you're almost, not only do you have to be a basketball player, right, but you kind of got to be a recruiter as well in your own campus, right? Yeah. Hey, man, come help us, right? Come, let's go, let's play.
Yeah, well, Coach Mario always says you got to use the peer pressure, right, for good. So you can just say, every day, hey, we have practice today, come on over, and we have practice. We're playing in a tournament, you should come play, right? Things like that. And
speaking of Coach Mario, one of my favorite guys, I've been dying to ask you this. Do you or any of your guys have a Coach Mario, can you do impersonation? Right? Who does the best Coach Mario?
Man, I don't know. Some guys on the team are pretty funny and can do pretty well.
Pretty good?
It's definitely not me.
Not you? Oh, that's disappointing, man. 'Cause I'm going to have to, whoever can do a Coach Mario, I've tried, but I'm not going to do it today. I don't want him to beat me up the next time he sees me.
Yeah.
But, man, I was like, someone's got to do a Coach Mario on that team, right? Can you steer me in the right way? Where should I go if I wanted to get a good Coach Mario impersonation?
You could probably go talk to Cheo. He'll probably do pretty good.
All right. I'm going to hit that up for sure. What has he done to keep you guys together? Because he's an emotional guy. Yeah. He's a positive guy. He seems like a real father figure for the program, right? What has he done to kind of keep everyone together?
Well, he treats the team like his own family, right? He loves all the players just like we were his own son. And I think just knowing that and knowing that he really, truly cares about us, it makes it a lot easier to stay with the program and feel like it's a family, because he says it often. He treats us like his own son, and his main goal isn't to build basketball players, it's to grow young men.
Right. And what I always see with Coach is I'll see him near the beginning of the season, and he's always so optimistic. Like, this is the year. We got this guy, we got this guy, we got this guy. And he doesn't really fade away from that throughout the year. Even when the losses start to pile up, he seems to stay pretty even keel and positive throughout the year. So that's got to be encouraging as a player to know that he's coaching you the same way on the first day and the last day with positivity, right?
Yeah, I mean, with the past 3 seasons I've been there, he's always positive all throughout the whole season. And, it feels good that he always has that belief in us and he believes in us that we can do it.
And now you've had your dad there as well, right? Assistant coach on the bench. What's that dynamic been like? Has that been, just strictly player coach, or has there been times where it's been son dad where you're just like, man, we just keep losing?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah, well, it's pretty complicated, but we try to keep it simple. And when we're in the game or at practice, it's coach player, right? But he has higher expectations for me, like, all the time. So, it's during the game, it's coach player. After the game, it's dad, but he's always a coach, right? So he's always trying to give me advice and things like that.
What has been so far at Rio Grande? What has been your lowest low? What has been your highest high since being a Rio Grande Raven and having that uniform on?
I would say, probably the lowest low was, towards the district last season. I felt like we could have definitely done better. And, there were some games that slipped away, and I feel like, a lot of that was on me, and I could have performed better, done a lot of things better to help the team win and succeed. And then the highest high, there's been quite a few highs, but I think I could also go back to last season. Second district game we went to, or actually it was first district game, went to Capital, and we beat Capital at their place, and that felt really good because that was the first time that we had ever beat Capital High School at their gym. So,
Right. As a matter of fact, early in that district season, you guys were near the
Yeah.
top of the standings there
Yes,
for
sir,
a
we
little
were.
while, right?
And then-
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back. We'll talk some ABC prep stuff and much more with Jonah Lopez.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
For certified collision and body repair, visit the experts at Car Crafters. 5 locations in Albuquerque and Rio Rancho. Visit carcrafters.com.
Car crafters, it's like it never happened.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Back with Jonah Lopez here. Glad to have you tuned in tonight and glad to have you in. Finally, I know our schedules haven't really linked up. You're a busy guy. All right, what are you doing now?
Well, right now I'm playing with the ABC, just a club team, right? And we've been traveling basically all over the West Coast, playing tournaments, and everything's been going well. We've been getting lots of exposure, and it's kind of just a group of guys from all New Mexico, really, that we just come together and go out there and do ourselves, right? Or
ABC has been in the news, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about that a little bit. So obviously some kids have left their high school programs to go play at ABC Prep during the school year, right? You're doing it right now during the summer with intention to play for your high school, correct?
Yes.
But there's still a lot of kids that are foregoing their high school eligibility. Judah Casaus recently just announced, right? That's obviously the big name one. But that seems to be happening a lot more. So why do you think that is?
I think it's a different route, and I think some of the kids that did it right when it began, they probably saw, well, look at how much success he's having, look at all the offers he's getting, right? And I think that's definitely gone through my head a little bit, but I've kind of wanted to stay true with Rio Grande, right?
Right. And that model that's out there, right? Because yourself, Jalen Holland, right? He's traveling with the team right now, but he has no intention, at least that I've heard, of leaving Los Lunas, right? He wants to be a Tiger. And so there's definitely two approaches to it. But what is the chatter amongst you guys, the boys, right? There's got to be, I know you guys are all very close. The basketball community, one thing I've learned in Albuquerque, the basketball community, you guys are all close, no matter what school you play for. So what has kind of the talk been amongst the boys, about people leaving their high schools, prep, what's been the chatter amongst you guys?
Yeah, I think, well, at least with my the ABC team that I play on, most of the guys are going back to their club or to the high school teams. And I think it's just kind of, well, it's their decision, if they think there's more opportunities with the prep team, that's their decision, right? But most guys, or for me at least, I feel like, in the summer I get enough exposure with the ABC, and then I can come back and stay with my school.
Now, you've played basketball pretty much most of your life, right? When did you start?
Well, competitively about 4th or 5th grade, but since I was a little baby, 4 years old, I've always had a basketball with me.
Okay. And now I've heard, you've been on some pretty good teams, right? Club teams,
Yes,
AYBL teams.
Yes, sir.
But the interesting thing is, a lot of teams, those AYBL teams, those club teams, they tend to go to the same school together, right?
Yeah.
But you guys all kind of split up, right?
Yeah. Well,
so talk about that.
Well, I played with the dogs, right? Jaquan, Chris, and a bunch of guys like that, and X, all those guys. And, we kind of just, everyone went to their own schools because we were kind of all from around the city.
Right.
And, that's just kind of,
basketball didn't bring you.
Exactly.
But basketball didn't bring you to Rio Grande, right?
Yes.
It was another sport.
Yeah, so the main reason that at the time, the main reason I came was for the baseball program. And, obviously Coach Mario was very open arms, but so was Coach Riego.
Right.
And, we had a really good relationship, and just the the commitment that both programs wanted from me, I couldn't really make it work. And also I really enjoyed basketball, and I was leaning more towards basketball, so I ended up just sticking with basketball this past few years.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you see kids, 2, 3 high schools, whatever, the transfer, I mean, kids don't really go to their school that they live in that district anymore, right? There's an open enrollment choice. But you guys all kind of went separate ways, right? Like, how different would high school sports look in New Mexico if everyone just went to school in their district where they lived?
Oh, it would be completely different because, just with the Rio Grande Trisco situation, I know a bunch of guys that live in Rio's district but ended up going to Trisco, and that's just the basketball aspect of things, right? I feel like if everyone went to their own district, it would be more even playing field, right? And teams would be more balanced and things like that.
You talked about Trisco. Is there a natural rivalry there just from geographics? I mean, it really hasn't, we haven't seen a lot of it. I mean, baseball-wise, obviously you guys have dominated that, I would say. But is there a natural rivalry there since that was the new school that opened near your neighborhood and took a lot of those kids?
Yeah, of course, and lots of respect to them and Coach Ortega and the program that he built over there. And, they're really good every year, year and year. But I think, that rivalry has always been there ever since that school's been built. I remember back when I was in 6th and 7th grade and seeing the basketball games, because that's when they were still pretty evenly matched, and just the environment, especially at Trisco, just a full packed gym. It was really cool.
Right. What would it mean to you your senior year if you guys made it to the playoffs your last year, and you kind of, when you leave, that the program is on a good trajectory? I mean, how huge would that be? What would that mean to you?
Yeah, that'd be extremely huge, and that's really my main goal this year. Is I would like to, kind of get or have the program come out of the mud really and down at the bottom of the barrel, and have us, change the culture, as I've said, since the past 5 years. And, I feel like if we could just do that, it'll start taking off more and more.
Right. And what's next? I mean, not only basketball-wise, but obviously when you carry around a GPA like that, you got some plans.
Yes,
so
sir.
What's next?
Yeah, well, I plan to play somewhere at the collegiate level. I'm not sure what level yet, but obviously I have the grades, and I think that'll help me a lot when it comes to the recruiting aspect of things.
Right. Well, hopefully that valedictorian thing works out, right? You can squeak by at the end, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
So let us know. Thank you for coming. And I have to say that whatever Ravens we've had on the show have been just fantastic guests. And so the coaches and obviously your parents are doing a lot of things right. And really thank you for coming in. And good luck.
Thank you for
this
having
senior
me.
year. And thank you for watching, everybody. Good night.